Hello, it's John Denley here again from DiaryBooker.com, and today's video topic is what would I do to fix the world or change the world if I had a magic wand to do so. And there's always two things that I've been very passionate about in my life, and the first is homelessness. I can't stand the idea of someone not having a warm bed or a hot meal that they can go home to in the evening. And if there's anything I can do to fix that, then I probably would. But I'm probably going to need a bit of money to do that, which brings us nicely on to my second point, which hopefully will allow me to get the money together that will be able to help that first issue. And that is the problem of technology that doesn't work. I'm sure we've all had the experience where we bought something that we think will help us and turns out it doesn't do quite what we wanted it to do. And you wish you could just go back to the designers and say, why didn't you design it to do whatever it was that you expected it to do in the first place? And that's something that started me off along the path of creating DiaryBooker.com, my own business. It was born out of a frustration of not being able to find the software that did exactly what I wanted it to do in the way that I wanted it to be done. And since creating DiaryBooker, I've also found that several other businesses have expressed that same desire to me, to have some software that would do what they wanted it to do, rather than then having to figure out a way of making the software do what they wanted it to do. And that is pretty much the problem. The software itself has been designed by people who are technical and understand how computers work, but don't necessarily understand how people work. And that is the big problem, really, right there. I went to a party recently, actually, and there was a girl there that I was talking to and explaining my philosophy behind designing software. She did ask, and she said to me, well, what you're doing there is basically anthropology. You're studying human traits and then finding out how they work and then designing the software around that. And I said, that's exactly what I like to do. I like to watch how they interact with the computer and then try and make sure that I design a solution that fits with the way that they're thinking, rather than trying to get them to go the other way around. I'm sure you've all noticed how easy it is for a young child these days to use a handheld touchscreen device, and how they can just intuitively start flicking through the photographs that you may have taken, or even start playing Angry Birds and just pulling that catapult back and flinging those birds across the screen. They just seem to use it without even thinking about how it should be used. And conversely, when you probably started using a touchscreen device for the first time, you may have found when you were trying to scroll around the screen, you actually tried to drag the text down the screen to make it go up rather than the other way around. And what was actually happening there is that after years of using a conventional computer and learning that as you drag the scroll bar down on the right hand side of the screen, that's what actually makes the text go up. You've learned to scroll down to make the text go up, rather than what's more intuitive, which is to grab the text on the screen and then shift it and push it up the screen. Which is obviously what you do on a touchscreen device. And this is why I'm looking to work with a few beautician business owners to work on my product, DiaryBooker.com, as I've added in some new functionality recently, and I'd like to get a fresh pair of eyes on it and some feedback, and to work with me to develop the product in a way that they want it to work, rather than me just introducing stuff that I think would be useful. So if you want to get involved in that project, then there should be a link up here that you can check out. It's beautydiarybooker.com, and you can see what it is that I'm offering you in return for helping me develop my own product. So that's my magic wand, is what I would do if I could fix the world. But of course, the great thing for me is that actually I am my own magic wand, and if I work hard, I can make that magic happen, which is obviously fantastic. But the question for you is, what would you do if you had a magic wand and you could change the world? What would you do? Why don't you let me know in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing what you have to say, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks very much. Bye for now.